We continue our fire alert coverage. We're getting our first look of the Waldo Canyon fire from Air Tracker 7. It's a fire that's moving very quickly just west of Colorado Springs. One of the biggest worries for the firefighters right now in our state as they watch that one very, very closely. Here's a look at fires burning in our state right now. 9 in all. The newest today, the Elizabeth Fire in Elbert County. Also, the County Road 1, I believe is 102, as I recall. 2 large numbers of homes right now. The Hyde Park Fire in Larimer County, of course. The Waldo Canyon Fire just west of Colorado Springs. Our team coverage for you this evening. Jacqueline Allen with the evacuees of the Hyde Park Fire. In Estes Park, the victims of the devastating fire there, Amanda Cost. And Mike Nelson in the 24/7 Weather Center tracking the dangerous fire weather. Mark Stewart is live in Colorado Springs right now at Coronado High School. Mark, this fire down there at the Waldo Canyon has been very unpredictable.
And Mike, to use the words of the El Paso County Sheriff, this fire is fierce. So far, it's burned at least 2,500 acres, but we know it is significantly more. As far as acreage, a much better idea, perhaps tomorrow morning once an infrared aircraft flies over. But I want you to take a look behind me over my shoulder. You can see the smoke cresting over this ridge. It is heading towards the Garden of the Gods, which of course we know is a Colorado treasure. At this point, containment still at 0%. Fortunately, no injuries, no structures destroyed, but this fire is moving dangerously close to many homes. At least 2,800 is what one county commissioner told me, perhaps as many as 2,000 more. The big challenge here today has been the heat, very low, if not no humidity, as well as erratic winds, which have changed the pattern of this fire. We have some pictures which we shot for you earlier today as this fire again has just been growing and growing all day long. The Forest Service told people here, be prepared to see air tankers, be prepared to see smoke, and be prepared to see fire spiking up from these ridges. Fortunately, some resources are on the way. So far today, about 3 heavy choppers were able to drop water on top of this fire, as well as some heavy air tankers. Later tonight, if not tomorrow morning, we'll be getting some specialized aircraft, C-130 cargo planes. They are what are flown in combat. They have the ability to fly very close to the ground, only about 150 feet above. They can drop that retardant in very precise pinpoint locations. In addition, the pilots of those planes are used to dealing with combat, very erratic conditions on the ground, lots of different types of terrain. So from that standpoint, officials here feel they have the resources they need. But Mike, the one thing they need is the one thing we can't control, and that is for the weather to be on their side. Back to you.
Mark, and take a look at this. The flames of the Waldo fire coming over the ridge this morning, inching very much closer to the homes in that area. Governor John Hickenlooper at the command post just hours ago talking about this extreme fire danger.
What's most concerning about the Waldo Canyon fire down here is the number of homes that we see being at risk.
We heard the number, in fact, some $295 million worth of homes. The governor also speaking about getting more help for the fire. And, of course, the state got approval for 4 federal aircraft to come and help firefighters, and they should start their work tomorrow, it's expected, as we were talking about the C-130 aircraft. Evacuation notices lifted within the last 20 minutes in the town of Elbert for a 600-acre fire burning in Elbert County. The fire department says the fire is 90% contained. More than 100 firefighters are working. Now to the biggest fire in our state right now, the Hyde Park Fire. In 3 hours, we'll be filled in on the progress that's been made on that fire in Larimer County. Today, in the morning briefing, we learned the fire has grown to 82,000 acres. The fire 45% contained. Some of the Hyde Park Fire evacuees allowed back in today. An all clear given to residents on Kings Canyon Road, Unger Mountain Road, Smith Bridge Road, Manners Lane, and of course residents living on Highway 14 from Kings Canyon Road west to the Gray Rock Trailhead. Now, if you live in that area, you will have to show an ID to get past the roadblocks there. Even though those folks are being allowed back in, they are urged to keep an eye on that fire and the updates. As those residents are being allowed back in, hundreds of others are still worried about what's happened to their homes. They're being updated at the ranch in Loveland right now, and that's where Jacqueline Allen is. Jacqueline, what's the feeling among those residents right now? Are they hopeful? What are they feeling?
I think they're nervous. A lot of them are uncertain about how this most recent weather has affected the fire in their neighborhoods. The meeting is just getting started. It started at 5 o'clock. And just about an hour ago, the sheriff tweeted out that Glacier View residents need to be here at this meeting, that there will be information specifically for them. So I've talked to a lot of people in the Glacier View neighborhood who wanted to know what's going on. Take a look at some of this video of the fire here today. I'll tell you right now, here it is hot and it is windy. You can imagine how this must be draining the firefighters and how it's whipping up this fire even more. As you said, there's only 45% containment. That's down. At one point, it was 55%. And today they did have new evacuations, the filings 1 through 8 of Glacier View, all of Poudre Park, several other places. Also pre-evacuations in the Bonner Peak neighborhood. We know that well from the Hewlett fire. I talked to some people in Glacier View. We're going to hear from Marlene Smith. She lives near Gate 1. And the fire, she says she knows, burned through her property, but she thinks her home is still standing. Some of her neighbors, though, she says, are not so lucky.
We're feeling a little homeless. You know, it's been more than a week, and we've had good friends that lost their home, and it's difficult. It's just a house, but there's a lot of love that goes into a house.
A lot of emotion yet again here today. People might be getting some very difficult news here today as the sheriff gives an update. He always lets people know here first what they need to know. So far, we've been told there were 191 structures burned, but they thought in very initial reports that an additional 4 to 10 structures burned yesterday. They were planning on giving updates on that later. We will get the very latest as well at the 8 o'clock media briefing. We'll be traveling there. We'll have the latest on that, both online and on the air. And right now, we're just waiting to see, as people come in and out of this meeting, what they're being told. We'll bring you the very latest as it becomes available. Reporting live, Jacqueline Allen, 7 News.